This is post-editing golden. I realized after I titled the video, because I never know my titles until after I've said what I had to say, I did not set the commentary up for me to win. So I wanted to come back, start it off with a definition that will allow the rest of what I said to make more sense, okay? So average, I pulled these definitions. There are several definitions that I compiled. Average, a standard or level that is considered to be typical or usual. A single number or value that best represents a set of data or collective. Think of this particular section of the definition as a single value that best represents a whole group of people that is most typically representative of a whole group of people. A usual amount or kind, something that is not outside the ordinary. That is what I'm saying as you continue listening to this video. Hollywood and the media in general set white women up to win in terms of how they think of their own beauty. I can't be mad at that if I'm thinking about it from their perspective, but it is something that we should recognize as non-white women. So I got an ad today in my inbox from Nordstrom, and these were the models featured in the ad, and it triggered a memory for me. It was a video that I saw years ago, and it talked about how the media or the Hollywood, the monster that is Hollywood, as it was deciding who to promote, who to present to the world as the standard of beauty, they often chose women who were, now when I say average, I don't mean below average. I don't mean unattractive. I mean average in that you can walk into Trader Joe's, you can walk into the mall, you can walk into a school and see a regular woman who's not an actress, and she'll look like a Jennifer Aniston. And the way in which Hollywood carefully and intentionally selected who would be starlets, it really is a nod to them, because what it accomplished was allowing an attainable standard of beauty for the majority of women. And, you know, what's attractive is very subjective, but just use your brain. Like, you know that Jennifer Aniston, although attractive, is certainly not an unattainable standard of beauty for the majority of women with her phenotype. And I think that is true for many starlets and Hollywood actresses. Meryl Streep, she's not featured here, but Julia Roberts, these are all attractive women, but they're not so far above the average white woman that white women in general don't benefit from their promotion and them being held up as the standards of beauty. And I think that's intentional by design, and it is healthy for the self-esteem of that community of women. And it's something that their men did for them. I am a black woman who loves black men, who loves and respects black women. Let me say that again. I am a black woman who loves black men who love and respect black women. And side note, I don't think that they have to be married to them to love and respect them, but that's another video. But as a collective, for whatever reasons, whatever epigenetically is going on with Black men who are in positions of power or who are able to decide who they want in a movie or a video shoot or a commercial, they aren't doing what white men historically have done for decades and centuries. They aren't promoting what is the average looking Black woman as the standard of beauty. And that creates an imbalance when it comes to, and also, I don't want to say unattainable, but it doesn't have the positive impact on Black womanhood in terms of, aesthetics and like surface level beauty. They didn't do, and who knows why they didn't. Maybe they weren't in a position of power to do so, but that's just something that I heard once, and I thought, that is very true. White men definitely chose average women of average attractiveness to represent them in Hollywood, their mothers, their sisters, their daughters. And that allows what is the standard of beauty to be average, to be white, then whatever. Or has been that way. I don't know if you can say that in 2024, but that's just a thought. That's just a thought, and I wanted to share it. What are your thoughts? Have you ever heard anything like that before? Specifically, that Hollywood is very intentional about promoting women who fall in the middle in terms of attractiveness, so as to force feed the masses and a woman of average attractiveness, and therefore benefit their entire community of women by having who is popular and who is visible overseas and all throughout the states, have that image of beauty be a woman of average attractiveness, so that average white women who are of average attractiveness don't have to feel like there's some unattainable beauty standard for them. And they probably still do. They probably still suffer with all the same insecurities outside of colorism, but I don't know. Like, I hear, them wanting to tan or not wanting to be too pale or wanting to maintain their porcelain skin. It's just so complicated, but I think it was healthy. I think it was wonderful that they decided to choose women who fall in the middle to represent them in Hollywood and therefore to the world, so that the mass of women, the majority of women in their community, are allowed to feel beautiful. They're allowed to feel beautiful because the standard of beauty established by their men doesn't make it out of reach. Thanks for listening.